What is cracking and going on, Brainiacs? Hey, Matt here with the Matrix Minds. My God, where did the month go? It is May the 3rd. That's right. It's Monday, Manic Monday the 3rd. Like I said, where did the month go? Oh my God. Well, so anyway, Brainiacs, I'm joined with a very, very beautiful person, both inside and out. Most of you and almost all of you know this young lady, beautiful woman who is near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. She is not only a stay positive spiritual teacher, she is my friend. I'm joined tonight by Mrs. Rafaela Jorge-Smith. So you guys just hang tight. Mind, body, and wholeness. That's right, mind, body, and wholeness. How we can stay positive in this moment, in these moments of chaos. See you on the other side, Brainiacs. What do you say, Brainiacs? You guys ready? It's time. It's showtime, brains. That's right. It's Matrix time. And it's go time. Welcome aboard, everybody. Let's go! Talk about ufology, conspiracy, controversy, and anything and everything that we can get into tonight. Let's go. What's up, Matrix Breakers? Miss Timmy Bottoms in the house. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Socrates. Yeah, man. Miss Amanda Suncrest in there. Yeah, man. Kristen Martin, Selena from across the pond. What's up, Mr. Earl Fields, Mr. Larry's in the house. Hey, get up, Brandon. Alexa Jamison, Lisa Ayo, Miss Marty Slater, Jessica McTarsley. Yeah, Miss Angela Stance. Full house tonight. Definitely your show. And we appreciate you for being here. Buckle up, everybody. Welcome aboard. Yeah, welcome aboard, brains. Where in the world did the month go? It's just vanished. It has vanished on us. I'm going to unmute my dear sister. And again, she needs no real introduction. She is absolutely a joy to be around, joy to talk to. Miss Rafaela Jorge-Smith, you are unmuted, and welcome once again to the Matrix. The Matrix Minds, my dear friend. How are you? You doing all right?
I'm doing great. I am so happy to be back talking to you guys. It is an honor. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Whenever I threw out the topic, I'm going, you know what? I know the perfect candidate to talk about this with us, because you've got that wisdom teaching, and I don't know anybody better to have go over this topic with us. What's up, Megan Scott? I see you, my reader. What do you say, Rafi? You ready to help some people like stay elevated and then like find that motivation that we so desperately need?
Oh my God, do we need it? We need it bad.
Yeah, we do.
So let's see. Can people tell me what they're feeling, what they're going through first? We'll start with that. They're giving me some kind of a feedback. Are they, Are they being triggered? Are they unhappy? What do
Well,
they think is happening to them right now?
You seen my trigger. That's one of the reasons I'm like, I gotta call this girl, man. We need some spiritual. I'm saying we need some spiritual warfare, love and light up in this cabinet. That's why I called you. That's why I'm like, gotta talk to her. So yeah, the triggers, man. You know, talk to me like, yeah, like we was talking today. I mean, where does this come from, Raph? I mean, come on. I was in a hell of a good mood. Everybody, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's in a good mood, and next thing you know, all it takes is boom. It's like all of the chaos in the world. It's like trying to, I don't know, trying to stay positive is so damn hard. Whenever you're like. You're like you just said, triggered. You're triggered by stupid shit.
Yep.
And I know I'm not alone.
But no, you're not. No, I get triggered. Everybody gets triggered. But let me tell you something really amazing about being triggered.
All right.
What is being triggered is when your subconscious mind burps a feeling, a situation from your past that is brought on by somebody's words, somebody's face, somebody's energy, because you didn't work on it. So, and it goes into so many different differentials where you have to really look and ask yourself, what the hell triggered me? Why am I angry? Who am I angry? You have to ask yourself those questions. You just got triggered. In your mind, you say, okay, I'm getting pissed off. Why?
Right.
Is it this person? Is it their word? Do I like them? And after you got to answer those questions really quick, and then you realize if you say, no, I like this person, I know they're not trying to start nothing with me. What did they say? I triggered a lady really bad. Let me tell you this story. I triggered a lady really bad on a Sunday ceremony. We asked all the women and all the men, everybody to join in the circle, and I gave everybody a mirror, and I said, one of those handheld mirrors. There were about 30 people in the circle and about 40 people sitting out because some people just like to come and watch and not participate. So the people that were participating got a mirror, and we were all looking in the mirror, and what I said, when you look in the mirror, tell yourself that you are love and that you love yourself. And if you don't feel it right now, know that God feels it for you. And so one girl got up and she said, I don't fucking love myself. And she smashed the mirror and took off.
Okay.
So what happened? She got triggered by being asked if she loved herself. That's a trigger. Another person said, well, yeah, I love myself, but I have problems loving other people. And then that person sat down because now she doesn't want to talk about who she loves because she doesn't really know anybody in the group. She just met everybody. So that's a trigger. A trigger can happen when somebody touches your hand if you're on the bus. And a trigger can happen when somebody looks at you and you're not used to looking at people in the eye. It's always something that has some kind of connection to your past that is unfinished business.
Mm-hmm.
So, Matt, going back to why you were triggered, what happened? What was going on? What did you think? What was said? Do you remember?
I guess it's like it just it stems from like it's not just me. It's like what Socrates said. I think Socrates said it best because I do a lot of commentary. I play the middleman for a lot of people, Rafaela, and I pick up a lot of energy. Okay, I pick up a lot of energy. I personally, deal with so very many people on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. So Socrates is like telling me, you're feeling the collective, And the collective right now, I don't even know where the collective is at. I truly don't. What I do know is, we all look around us and we don't know what the hell to do with this, with the V word, right? And I don't mean the viri word. I'm talking like the injection.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. The clone.
Yeah. So everybody's picking up on that, Raph, and everybody's like, kind of. I mean, it's not just me, honey. I know it's not just me. It's the collective at heart. Like Socrates said, it's that.
Okay.
Michelle. Michelle Nobles, I seen your donation come in, honey, and we really appreciate that. I wanted to let you know that I seen it come in. Thank you so very much. What's that now, Raph?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying something. I just had to do a shout out to Michelle Nobles here. Definitely, thank you.
Okay. When you're feeling triggered, it's internal to you. We know that the whole world is in an uproar. We all know what's going on. We know that the evil is definitely in the world. Something before we didn't notice it, and now it's full blown. And we know that evil is in our leadership. So yeah, every time they speak, the same way when Trump was speaking, all these people got triggered and they didn't listen, they didn't follow, they didn't notice anything good he did, because the minute he said anything, they were pissed off. That's a trigger. But that trigger is created by programming. So if you're getting triggered, you have to kind of lower your levels down and say, hey, this is bothering me. Why is it bothering me? You have to break it down.
Right,
and first of all, you have to know that you yourself cannot break down the politics and what's happening in the world alone. So to save your sanity, it's always good to talk to someone about how you're feeling. If you got triggered watching The Clone, like I usually do, I have to tell myself, you're at peace, get back to your meditation. You cannot physically remove this man.
Yeah.
He is there, and he is there for a reason. We're now going to witness. We're now witnesses. So when you put yourself in a situation, then you have a purpose. My purpose is to listen, to understand. If I put myself in listening mode and understanding mode, I'm not going to get triggered as much if I join a conversation and I get all involved and then I'm triggered. But the minute I put the intention and the mindset, I am here to listen to these people, to find out what's going on with this. And my intention is to listen and observe. So now I'm in listening and observing situation. So if I hear something, I am in awareness. And if I'm getting angry, then I have to tell myself, mental note, I'm getting angry because of this. And usually you can identify the word. I get angry and triggered very highly. And there's no shame in saying that, because a lot of the spiritual people want to shame you for being triggered, for judgment, or for a lot of things that go along the same spectrum.
Right.
Because you're getting triggered, it's going to be judgment. And that's beautiful. You have to have that. Okay, so if you got triggered, now you're like, okay, mental note, this made me mad. Let me not lash out at these people. Let me go back and work on this later. And you breathe, you count to 10 in your mind, and you relax, and you go back to active listening. Sometimes we listen to something. Active listening, because that's part of the intention.
Right.
You know, when you're reading stuff on Facebook, if you're not in active, listening, because you're really listening when you're reading, even if you're not reading out loud, your mind is listening to what somebody else is saying. It's the same dynamics, So even when you're reading posts, you'll get triggered. But people don't
Right.
know. The thing is not for those people who are speaking what they feel, and that's so important because, we have the First Amendment. We all want to be able to say what we have to say, and nobody should tell us to be quiet. We have to be able to say it. If you piss people off, then apologize. Hey, I'm sorry you guys got pissed, but that's my reality, or that's the intention. This is what I came here to say. Now, they have to analyze why they're pissed, because you didn't come in there with the intentions to make anybody mad.
Right.
Well, and the same way when you're feeling it coming, bombarding you from watching TV or from talking to other people, it's the same frequency. We are all getting triggered by the frequency of control. And in that frequency of control, there's going to be a lot of behavior issues. And there's going to be also physical problems. You're going to get headaches, not just angry, but you might get headaches. You may not be able to sleep. You may be irritated with your children or your spouse or other people if you don't sit down to handle it.
Right.
Because the first thing you have to do is think, why am I angry? Why is this bothering me? Go ahead, Matt.
No, so I would also shout out to you, Miss Tammy Bonham. Thank you for the donation. I'm serious. We appreciate it. Miss Marnie Slater, thank you too. My heart goes out to the both of you guys for smashing that donate button. You know what? Here's the thing. Socrates, I gotta love this dude. He's telling everybody, he's like, just kind of like, what did he say? He said it best. I'm serious. This was really smart to say. Adapt, adjust, and move on. Versus, I guess just that's best versus just trying to channel it to someone else. And we've got to have an outlet somehow. I mean, I do. I beat on these drums behind me, so I mean that is my outlet. You know what I mean? Coming on the show, it's like coming on the show. It gets it out. It gets things out. But I also receive I receive my tribe's energy also. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can beat on the drum, but it sucks it right back in. And I whenever it's hard.
Yeah, the same way you pick up a trigger, a negativity, and it's not negative. First of all, guys, getting triggered is not negative. It's an awareness point. If you put it to negativity, you're not going to learn anything. Any little thing that triggers you is screaming for you to look into that situation. It's screaming. And if you keep getting triggered by the same things, then you're blocking something, you're not working something, and it's going to happen continuously until you get a hold of it. And you control it by putting it in the right folder, in the right mental folder. Okay, right. We're talking about abortion. A lot of people get triggered with that topic. So, you're pro-life or you feel that women have pro-choice. The minute you hear the opposite of what you think should be, you're going to get triggered.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to say, I don't want to be triggered because I have to communicate with the world. And so first, you say, I am actively listening. And I am listening to understand, not listening to respond. Because the trigger wants to lash out and to respond. And so you don't want to do that. The first thing you do is you categorize it. Okay, I'm triggered. This lady's talking crazy. I don't like the way she's saying it, but she has to say that. So let me just calm down, take a deep breath, and now I'm going to intently listen.
Oh, there's a damn sure difference between just listening to listen and listening to actually listen. You know what I mean?
Respond.
Oh yeah, I'm talking like, you know, that's what the problem with today. That's the problem with today. I mean, I find myself doing it all the time, and that is just like I listen, and it's like as I'm reading what someone says to me, I'm already building what I'm going to respond with before I actually finish reading it, think about it, and then respond. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I get it. I mean, hell, it works even with texts.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sometimes, if it irritated me, and I think this person, and we have judgments here, and I want to bring judgment in that because judgment is the root to your triggers. Okay.
Judgment.
So you have a judgment. You're reading this post, and it sounds to you automatically you're gonna judge it, and that's the judgment is natural. You have to judge everything. There's no action a human can do without some kind of judgment. Is it right? Is it wrong? Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I write? Do I sit? Do I lay? You know, there's going to always be an action to judgment, right? So then you're going to be like, okay, this person is speaking, and I want to set them straight because they got it all wrong. And if you lower your own energy by breathing, you count to 10 or to 20, and you're breathing and you're reading, and you're like, okay, I'm going to think about that, and I'll come back. And then you go for a walk, you detach from the situation if you're reading online, and then you come back and say, okay, this person's really not trying to be a bitch or an asshole to me, so I cannot respond like I'm angry at them. What are they really trying to say? Okay, this lady is saying that, you know, everybody has the right to abortion, but she's also not listening to the fact that that child has come through the ether into a soul to get into this world, and it wants to live. Nobody comes here to get aborted, but it happens. Okay, it happens. So because we know it's something that happens, and it happens whether we mean to have an abortion or not, whether it's natural or whether it's done deliberately, it happens. And when I tell myself, okay, I had 2 miscarriages, those are still abortions. The body did it, or the doctor did it. So now I'm like, okay, I have got to not be triggered, and I've got to listen to what she feels. And after she speaks what she feels, you can say, you know, I understand where you're coming from. Let me now tell you where I am at. But now you're still at a low octave. You have to have a low energy to speak to people. And here's the switch, because everybody gets that kind of twisted too. If you're hyper and you're running around the room and you're talking really loud and you're moving your body and your arms, what kind of energy do you have? Are you relaxed? Are you relaxed?
Well, right at the moment, yeah. But I mean, yeah, I totally get what you're saying, and what you're saying makes sense.
So when we look at energy levels, we keep them. You say, I want to have a high vibration. That's ADHD. You get medicine to calm that shit down, right?
What? Vibrating at a high vibrating at a high level of an octave here. That's like ADHD. That's like a squirrel on sugar cubes or something.
Yeah, think about it. What do we call a high vibration, and what is a low vibration? Ask the people who answer that, and then tell me what they're saying, and then I'll respond. Because that's the key to where we're at with being triggered.
Right.
What is a high vibration?
Me right now being on cloud nine because Tara Bonds donated to the Matrix Minds. That's me going, yeah, baby, I love her. Hello. No, I do. I love her. Thank you, Tara Bonds for the generous donation. No, I get what you're saying. I totally do, and that is, those that whenever you just you're in the bar, like you just said, like you're in a bar chilling out, just trying to kick it with your friends, and in comes two Bopsy twins, right? Like zing, 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 zinging, and it's like they rub up against you, and like they come into your auric field, and it's like you're chewing. It's like you've got a filling, and you're chomping on a piece of frickin' tin foil or aluminum foil between two fillings. It's like zing, ow. It's like, I understand what you mean by a high vibrational frequency. Whenever you're not really, all you're doing is trying to just be peaceful, calm, and be chill. I get it. I understand what you're saying to me, and I know where you're going.
If you want a low vibration, then you're chill, then you're listening, then you're communicating, then you're calm. On a high vibration, you are not able to function in the room with other people. You're fidgeting, you're moving around, and it could be an anxiety that's happening because of something else. Again, that is dealing with something internal to you. You are hyper, that's high.
Mm-hmm.
You are relaxed, that's low. How are we taught about vibration? You tell me.
I guess we're just told to on a spiritual level, we're told to stay in a higher vibrational frequency. That's what we were told, Raph.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So
but no one really truly has given us an example of how to stay in that positive, higher vibrational frequency. But now it's kind of like defeating what you're saying to me is kind of defeating the purpose of staying in a higher. It's almost like it's contradicting itself.
Exactly. We're talking about that guy, that clone, that B guy that's pretending to be leader in chief and all that. Okay, what do those people do? What have they done through the centuries? They invert everything.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
I do.
So low is good and high is bad. But the spiritual community will tell you otherwise. And that's what everybody is chewing and regurgitating and writing books about, and it's not helping us. Because we know the difference. How do we say, I'm in a high vibration, but you're sitting down meditating, and you're calm,
right,
and peaceful, and you're loving, and you are, if you go to a 3, you are at that God tone. And y'all take that note down, write it down and look it up online. What is the high hertz frequency? The frequency of the God tone is 2 and 3. What is the frequency of the earth? The way it moves is 7, at the highest 8.5, 9. So why are we even listening to music that's at a 700, 800, 1,000 vibration, a 400, and that is irritating the shit out of us when we're trying to stay calm? I was listening to high hertz. The frequency has to be low. When you hug a tree, that's a 2%, 3%, and that vibration, it is the most peaceful and most loving. And when you go hug the tree, that's where you get yourself balanced. When you're dealing with a lot of people and they're driving you crazy and your meditation's not working and you become anxious and then you go because you're going to go to drugs. Because when you're drunk, is that a low vibration or is that a high vibration?
It's a low vibration. It's a lower vibration.
It's not. Because
no?
when you're drunk, you're falling over. You can't think. Your faculties have been dulled down.
Okay. All right. So why are we taught the opposite, Raph? That's what I want to know is why the hell
Why? Because the cabal is in control. This is why I'm constantly telling people, I know you're learning, and I am so happy that the world wants to move out of this bullshit. Mm-hmm. But you have to not just take anything like they're teaching to you. You have to study. You know, when I started meditation and I went into Sufism, in Sufism, the teacher doesn't even talk to you until he gets the way you're breathing. So you're almost breathing like your heart is going to stop. You're breathing very shallow, very low, long, and then you let it out, and then you're very peaceful. And then your ear starts to ring. So why is it that a low vibration when you're in your meditation gets your ears to ring?
Hey, Raph.
That means that you reach the God tone.
Rafi,
but the doctors will tell you tinnitus.
Let me. Oh, I've definitely got tinnitus from drums. I know that shit's real. Trust me, that's definitely real. I have a question. Well, actually, there's a question in the sandbox. Let me jump to it real quick. And that, well, it's not a question. It's kind of Amanda Suncrest dropped a comment, and that is let's see if I'm okay. I'm missing it here. Love. She mentioned that love and appreciation or gratitude, right, is like the highest vibrational frequency.
Okay, but that's just something. Okay, let's ask if she's listening. When you love your baby. Okay, when you love your baby, and your baby is in your arms, and you're breathing and kissing and looking deep into his eyes, that is a very low vibration. Why? Because your heart is going very soft, is beating at the right boom, 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 boom. Now, when you get upset and heightened, the beat to your heart gets higher. Boom, 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 boom. That's a high vibration. You're being programmed to not understand that when you're at peace, your heart rate slows down, your mind slows down, you don't have so many thoughts, and that is the beauty of meditation.
Right. Well, yeah.
Everybody should learn meditation. If a meditation master could tell you, okay, well, let's lower our energy. But who's going to lower their energy? You're so afraid to lower your energy because you've been bombarded with systematic programming that a low vibration is bad. You know, a cat lives on a low vibration. If your cat is hyper jumping everyone, there's something wrong with your cat.
No, my cat's just outside because I can't deal with that energy. But yeah, I get it.
Your cat is your energy. Your cat is your energy. But if you let your cat teach you, then you learn to nap, you learn to relax, you learn to stretch. That's how a cat, which is a master of the frequency of love, when they purr, now they want you to hear that vibration. Your cat doesn't go like that. No, that's a roar of a lion.
Right.
There's the difference. So look to nature to find the truth. When a lion is roaring, that's not a happy vibration, but it's loud.
And
When your cat is purring.
Angela Stance says anxiety vibes. High vibrations like anxiety vibes. I get it.
Anxiety vibes is not vibration because your internal organs are shaking. When you have an anxiety attack, you can feel like when you're having an anxiety attack, your bones are shaking, you feel your hand shaking, your head shaking, and you're like, you can't breathe, right?
Oh yeah, I mean my knees have knocked. I mean, trust me. Whenever I have overcame anxiety, but I'm gonna tell you what, I so do remember getting it to the point where my knees were knocking, and I was scared. Hell, I was scared for no reason at all. And yeah, it's bad. Anxiety is a really, really bad thing.
But an anxiety attack is the trigger. Now, an anxiety attack is a trigger, but it's coming from so deep in your past that you don't no longer know why. You can have somebody pass by and they can remind you of your grandfather, but you don't remember your grandfather in your frontal mind, but you remember everything about him in your subconscious mind. So you got an anxiety attack. You know how I learned this dealing with people with trauma, dealing with people who have, felonies of violence and different things. This is why I also tell spiritual people, you're going to remain stupid. You're not going to learn anything. And excuse me, I'm going to talk to all of you like I talk law so that you can get where I'm coming from. So when the anxiety attack hits you, you don't remember why. That is called a conglomerate, a frozen event in your energy field, in your aura. It's frozen. If something happens to you when you're 3 that you don't remember anymore, but your mother left you because she had to go to the hospital to have another baby. Your mother didn't abandon you. She had to go, and you can't go in there because children are not allowed and a lot of other things go on. But the child doesn't know all the intricacies that happen, why she cannot go with her mom to deliver this baby. So the child, the anxiety of her mom leaving her and knowing that something is not normal, something is going on because she doesn't know that pregnancy is normal, feels an anxiety attack for the first time because her mother left. Well, that little girl will grow up to have what we call a spiritual conglomerate, a frozen event in their energy field. So this girl now, whenever her boyfriend goes to work, she might have a fit, or she might get an anxiety attack if he goes on a business trip. Anybody who leaves her, even if for benign reasons, she will feel the same as she did when she was a 3-year-old. So adults are hardly ever acting from a non-trigger situation because things that happen in our childhood that we no longer remember how it happened are still triggering us every day. So that girl who her mom left to have a baby will have a problem with everybody who will abandon her. Now, the opposite spectrum of that is that she may abandon other people not to feel the pain of them abandoning her. She's going to get ahead of it. And that person breaks up every good relationship. So, triggers are frozen events, situations, actions in time of something that happened that you were either too young or didn't know how to fix it or how to talk about it, and it's stuck there. But every time somebody says, oh, I got to go to the store, this person gets triggered and doesn't know why.
Yeah,
And now
Tammy
that
Bonham's
person's
on the
not
right track. Tammy's like, she's talking unconscious triggers. These are unconscious triggers. Tammy
yeah,
Bonham says yes.
yeah. A good book, and please, if you really want to be an expert on this, the lady who wrote the book that I used in my school for 30 years, 25 years really altogether, that I taught out of this book is called Light Emerging, and this is chapter 3. And once you get past that chapter, nobody ever bothers you, because you know that if they got triggered from something you said, you don't take it personal.
Raphael, is this Angela Stance asks, is this is this where shadow work comes in to play?
Oh my God, give her a kiss. I love you. Yes.
Angela Stance. Angela.
Shadow work is your path. Here's another thing coming from the ancients. Humanity is all on one path. It's on the path of self-discovery. And because we have been taught how to be, how to dress, how to do this, how to do that, it's very difficult for us to find ourselves. You can look at all the people who get the Botox and change the whole face, and now they're looking like reptiles, and they're going through this whole changing of who they are. It's because they want to appease, and they want to be liked, and this also falls into that realm. Okay? So the trigger is, I want you to like me, and I'm going to do everything that's possible to be popular, to be liked, to be accepted. And so when you do that, you have a really hard time finding the self, because you're worried about other people. When you don't know the self, you're going to be triggered by very many things.
Mm-hmm.
Many things. Okay? So your path, the human spiritual path, is to find the self. And when you do your shadow work and you're looking at everything that broke you, because we're all broken one way or another, and you accept the fact that that happened to you, that was part of the journey, and part of the fact that the more you're broken and the more you do your shadow work, the more powerful you are, and that's the true empath. Because the empath knows how other people feel. You don't become empathic by birth. You become empathic by experience. People who have good lives, who like the way they live, who like the fact that mostly rich people, this is the difference between poor people and rich people. Rich people experience all the good shit because they can use their money, but they're not happy because they're not experiencing the bad shit that makes you strong. So what did they do? They make up shit. They make up stuff. They hurt other people. And now they seek pleasure from the idea that somebody else is a lower caste, is not as good as them, and they have a supremacy issue. When you say supremacy, that sounds like Nazism, but that's where it starts. When you don't feel good about yourself and you cannot find yourself, and then you want to feel good, you say, well, but those people over there, I'm better than them. I have a nice house. I have a nice car. And that is part of how we lose the self. So the shadow work is very important. That's the path. Period. That's a spiritual path for every human to find themselves. When you find yourself, you are going to be engrossed with it. You're going to be like, wow, I eat this ice cream all my life, and I thought I liked it. But that's because my mom and my dad likes it. I eat it, and I think I like it, but I'm tasting pistachio. I never had that. Wow, I really love that. And you have an aha moment, an epiphany, because you found something that wasn't attached to other people, that really made a statement about you, yourself. You know, I've had people in my practice that dressed a certain way, lived a certain way, had their religion a certain way, but when they started to rebel against all those things, not that we should rebel, we should figure out why we don't like it, then we can shift. That's a good word for that. Shift into who we are, what we like. And I tell people, who are you? Write down everything that you do every day and ask yourself, do you really like that? Right. Or is it just automatic, systematic, ingrained, programmed in you? When we're starting to lose programming and we know about the matrix and we know about the government, those are the top layer of things. Those are the things outside of you. But you have to go to the things inside of you, and fix those things. So a lot of people being triggered, they haven't worked on the internal things, and now we're all bombarded by the external shit that's happening in the world. So the whole world is triggered. All you have to do is look from country to country that people are protesting and there's riots, because this is the most amazing time. Because people are like, wait a minute, I don't really like that. I went along with that my whole life. And
you're right. I mean, this is something, yeah. Absolutely, Raph.
So, God bless the triggers.
God bless the
Write them down.
Alexa Jamison's like, yes, God bless the triggers. She sees it. Alexa Jamison sees this. I was reading her comment. I'm reading the comments as you talk to me and talk to everybody. And those everybody up here in this chat that's scrolling by, right? This is the Matrix Minds media chat on Facebook. And I love this family of people. Alexa Jamison says, yes, I experience and adapt. She also said earlier, I seen where she's like, she sees any kind of a trigger or any kind of a choice as a possibility to like grow and adapt and change and just make the best of every choice. I do remember seeing something like that.
But you know what? Let me tell you. I'm in Kentucky now, but I go to Indiana to buy bread from the Amish. If anybody wants to experience, I buy bread and butter from the Amish people.
So you go to Indiana?
Uh-huh. Over there by French Lick. A lot of Amish people. And so...
Okay.
They walk peacefully. They look at each other in the eye. They share. They talk and they listen, and whoever needs to talk, they don't interrupt each other. It is a way, that is the path. But we think it's religion. When I go there, they never talk to me about Jesus. I feel Jesus. I feel the fact that the way they picked up Jesus has helped them be better people. When I go to church, I don't feel that. I feel the hyperness and the high vibration. You go to church, they're hooping and hollering and they're jumping up and down. There's no low vibration there. All high vibration. But when I go to the Amish, and there's this guy, his name is, he's got a biblical name, I can never get it right. Jehoshaphat. Jonah. Okay, let's just call him Jonah because he's got a biblical name that's hard to pronounce. Anyway, when he says hello, it's like this. Hello. Welcome. How are you? And then he shows you the merchandise. And he looks deep into your eyes and you feel relaxed. Relaxed. When you look into people's eyes, you should feel something. If you feel upset, then maybe that person's got predator energy because they do things. Your
Right.
energy has to do with who you are and what you do. If you're a pedophile, if you are a womanizer and you stand next to me, I'm going to look in your eyes and I'm going to walk away and I'm going to tell you your energy is bad for women. I've told many people that. You have an energy that's not liking to women. I don't tell them, oh, you raped somebody, even though I may know that, because I've dealt with so many women that were raped and so many perpetrators of rape. And the only way that you're going to know what these energies are is to be around those people.
Yep, you're right.
So when the New Agers tell you, oh my God, get away from these people with drama because they're going to mess up your vibration, I just laugh. I used to before get in there and tell them blah, blah, blah. Now I'm just like, okay, let me just explain to you that you're not empathic. If you cannot handle people with trauma, with problems to talk to you, what is your purpose in getting through your spirituality? Is to connect, not to disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of books out there have this language that disconnect you from other people. And you'll see it on many posts. I don't deal with people with drama. Be careful with your vibration. You don't have to be careful with your vibration. Your vibration is internal to you, dealing with what you have experienced. You cannot change your vibration until you do your shadow work. So if you're being triggered by people who are doing bad things, you haven't cleared those things from your system.
So relatively, Rafi, these are all energetic energetic traumas, things that we as a self being need to work on versus like you know what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying to me, and I know these other matrix breakers over here do too, and yeah, it's very hard though to process this.
No, it's not.
It is because it's like relearning something.
Barbara Ann Brennan. Barbara Ann Brennan. Light Emerging. Light Emerging is going to teach you all about Trigger Chapter 3. Because when you figure your triggers, nothing in the world will trigger you because you already know. Like, for example, the word nigger. That triggers a lot of black people. Why? Because they have not come to terms with the fact that being black is good.
Well, all right, you being black, that's not a trigger to you?
I'm black. It's not a trigger.
That's what I said. You're a black lady. You're a black woman, female, and that's not a trigger to you. Hell,
it's not. This is how Black Lives. Let me explain it. Black Lives Matter is corrupting black people right now, and we know they're not good, but there's people out there who do not understand and are doing fabulous work for black people.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know that the entire perspective and their organization is there to trigger them into violence. Okay?
Right.
So they're constantly triggering people, black people, and they're black, to do damage. Because, okay, black people were called niggers, and see, I don't even have a problem saying it. They're called niggers when the white people were controlling them. So you're always going to need some kind of word to lower that person to low self-esteem, which causes a high vibration. Okay? Did you guys hear that? which causes a high vibration, not a low vibration, when you are upset. So they say things on the news, and people go out and act crazy. Those are triggers. Now, one trigger word for me was the word cunt. I don't think, no woman should be called that, but listen to how easily I say it, cunt. Anybody getting triggered by that word?
Maybe YouTube censorship or Facebook censorship. And I can't even edit that word out of this broadcast.
Well, so some women used to get triggered with the word bitch. And what happened? We desensitized that word because every song now, women turned it around. Yeah, honey, I'm a bitch. I'm a this. And now it's like a positive thing for some women.
The perception.
But at one time, it's a trigger.
Perception's got a lot to do with the general acceptance of these words, these trigger words. You know what I'm saying?
It's not perception.
It's got to be perception, Raph. I know. The words you just said, though, hon, well, shout out Mr. Will Williams. What's going on, truck driver, man? Rafi, I get offended. I get offended whenever I've got a handful of black friends, and some of them, the majority of them, I dearly love them. Okay, and I even get offended whenever I get called that word. And they look at me as just they use the word in as like a term of an endearment, but it's like I personally don't like the word. I'm offended by the word because I've seen the younger community. Hang on, I've seen the younger community just go about it like just nonchalantly, and it's like. Then to me, I'm offended by the word. I mean, I would never call that to you, my brother, my surrogate father, Lou Thomas. I would never do that. You never, you know what I mean? And it's that's just my own heart. It bothers me, Ralph. It's never.
Well,
never
among my black friends, they would say, "Oh, nigga, please." You know, when women are talking, oh, nigga, please. That shit. Nigga, go get me that drink. You'll hear it. This is just another word. It's no longer going to put you in shackles. And if every black person sat in that mirror like I did in that class and looked at themselves and said, you know what? God made me just like this. God doesn't make junk. And I am not junk. I am someone, I am worthy, I am special, and I love myself.
No, that I definitely jump on board with.
When you love yourself, no word is going to upset you because it's real. If name calling upsets you, you are unhappy with who you are. This is, like I said to my child, why are they calling you names in school? Did you do anything to them? Bullying? Ignore them, because the bully is bad about himself, so he has to pick on someone else. So right. I dismantle the words of the bully and the triggers. Kids that don't have instruction, that never had anybody explain things to them, go ahead and kill themselves. How tragic is that? Suicide. Yeah. Because somebody triggered them into something that made them feel bad because they were too fat or too skinny or too this or too that. You are going to get triggered when you didn't work on you dealing with who you are. Or you're going to get triggered when somebody is stepping on your beliefs. A lot of Christians, they're triggered all the time, 24/7. If you talk about religion, if you say Buddha, they get triggered. Jesus, it's the blood of Jesus. And then they go off into the rhetoric. because that's the safety net of their belief system, but that belief system does not have the self to really back it up. Did we capture that?
I think so.
Okay. If you don't have the systematic peace within yourself about who you are, all these things are going to trigger you. Everything is going to trigger you from the TV. Everything is going to trigger you when people are talking about different topics, because you did not sit down to work on those things. And they're ingrained in you probably from your childhood. Children are not born jealous. They're not born racist. They're not born angry. These are things that we learn from our surroundings.
Absolutely.
But we don't say, I dislike. You know what? My husband, and this is, I'm going to give you an example so that people can remember race. Race is a big trigger for people right now because it is a good thing for the system who wants to tear us apart. So they'll use racial words and they'll say things like, you know, the black community, black people. To me, when people used to say, are you black, that used to be a trigger. You know, yes, I'm light-skinned, but I'm still black. Then I got triggered because I wasn't black enough. So then you have to sit down and come to the conclusion. Your black people are prejudiced against lighter-skinned people, and the very, very black, ebony-colored people get the worst from our own black community. And it's not just the white people that are being racist and saying things to make you feel bad. You know who you are. If you don't, that's your path in your spiritual walk. Every human has to find themselves, and they have to be at peace with how they were created, and they have to be at peace and understand why. This has damaged us to such an extent, you know, that we are now doing things to ourselves that eventually we're going to regret. When nature kicks in, we're going to regret. What in the world is that?
Did you ask what that was? That was me hitting my vape.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it sounds like that was a Ross Perot. It sounds a giant sucking sound going south. All of your tax dollars, you ready? Your tax dollars going south across the border. It was Ross Perot. No, it's my vape. You know what, Raph? I'm going to open up the phone lines for you, and we are at the top of the hour, and give these guys an opportunity to call in if they want to, and discuss with you these things. When it comes down to spiritual work like this, right? All of these things, we've been taught that. I guess the fundamental biggest lie that we've been taught is to get on that high vibrational frequency and stay there. And you're telling everybody it's like it is the exact opposite. We need to be chill, be at a lower vibration, etc. I mean that to me, I'm just being honest with you, is like that is complete opposite from what you hear mainstream, especially in the spirituality, maybe even the new age culture. You know what I mean? Chill. Just be chill. Don't. Yeah.
It's designed to get you where they want you to be. If you think the government is programming now, they've been at this before you were born. You were born into this programming. And they don't want you to become enlightened. We know that there's religion, and we go towards religion to get peace. It's not always finding God. It's finding ourselves. It's finding peace. If we go to talk to God, God is going to tell us we're okay. We're not bad people. And we wanna be connected to something beautiful, to something good, like God, you know?
Right.
I taught religion for the last 25 years, all of them. And I would say to people, why do you get mad when other people talk about their religion? Oh, because it's not true. Well, how do you know? That person found God through that path, and by saying that path helped them to be calm, to get more understanding, maybe to treat their children better. You know, the path is to make you a better human. That's the purpose of religion, is to transform you. All the religions have that capacity. But in our generation, for the past 200, or maybe more, the past 300 years, everything has been turned around by the same people, because the Vatican owns every religious sect, listen carefully, that says the word Christian. So they're like, oh no, that's just the Catholic. That's not true. The Vatican hires people, trains them to be your pastor at your church. You'll never know that there's a connection. Now you can find the connection to the government because they have a 501c3 and they're tax exempt. If you have a 501c3, you are in programming. You know, when I started the Temple of Ancient Wisdom and I was approached, I didn't go to them, I was approached by the government, did I want to have a 501c3, I had to take my time to really, really learn about it. And when I learned it, I'm like, nope. And when all this thing came out with the Illuminati, I shut it down. As much as I loved helping people, I was not going to do it publicly. I shut the school down, and whoever needed me would come to my house, no longer as a school, no longer this and this and that. Because if you want to be away from the evil, then you have to do the sacrifice. And a lot of people don't want to do that.
You're talking about
this stems.
You're talking about the search for and the healing of the dark night of the soul as a self-discovery and nurturing, right? That's what we're talking about there.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is say, you know what? I matter. I matter.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm black or green. I matter. And I must matter to me first to be spiritual. Because if you don't matter to you first, like that girl broke my mirror and left, you'll never be spiritual. But she will go out there, and here's a judgment, and this is called a judgment by observation, which means I've seen it. I'm not just talking shit because I don't like her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm saying it because I watched, and I was so saddened by it because I knew she could overcome it, but she was too traumatized to try. To even look at herself and say, you know, I'm beautiful. I'm a beautiful person. And so when you don't get to the dark night of the soul, like you called it, is when you are going to shut down the programming and you're going to sit down and see your likes and dislikes and why you are there. And then you're going to find out who you like. You know, you never wore black because that was a bad color. Wear it one day and say, how do I feel? Do I like it?
Do I like it?
I can wear this more. Do I like it? Okay,
Right.
I do like it, but I never wore it because I had this mental illusion of what I thought it was. But all of those mental illusions that are enhanced by programming keep you away from you being yourself. If you truly want to be a truly, truly spiritual person, then you work on doing what is good for you. And in doing what is good for you, you're also going to know what is good for other people because you don't want to hurt anyone. I love the pagan tradition because you say, do as thy will and harm none. And that includes you. You cannot commit suicide.
Oh
But a
well, I'm
lot of
not. I'm
people
not a
don't
suicidal person anyway. I mean, I'm not. And with that
No,
being
but
said, those that are, my God, the detriment there. If they only truly knew how powerful that they really are as a spiritual being, and we are in control of our own feelings. I mean, I've said this many times here on the Matrix Minds.
yeah, but you can't control it, Matt, if it is a frozen conglomerate in your energy field that happened because somebody called you something, or because you felt low about yourself because of some situation. It's in there because something happened. So you have to take it from the perspective of, this is not an illusion. I'm not just acting up because I'm crazy. Something happened.
Right? Yeah, you're right. You definitely got to You definitely got to work on it as self. I mean, I will. Yeah, I will definitely 100% agree with that. And self discovery is hard. I mean, it really is. There it truly is. It is. There's no part of this that is easy.
It'll come easy if you make the decision that you matter. You can say Black Lives Matter and all these black people are mad at themselves for other reasons. How are we going to think they matter if they don't matter to themselves? They just went over there and robbed the liquor store.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, and this happens with all people, with people in general, because it stems from trauma. So the rulers are going to traumatize us.
They have been. I mean, that's their job, is it not? Hello.
Okay, have you seen the fashion for men? I post this all the time, where they look like weirdos, diapers and weird clothing.
Yeah.
It's like now there's all these, it's binary and all this other word. All those things that are being put out are for you to say, I don't like how I am, I got to change it. And that's good, but if you find that there are things about you that need changing, but if you don't know who you are and you start changing stuff, when the truth comes to you, you're going to hurt a lot. A lot. Because it's all in the programming.
Well, Rafi,
race,
we've been
the gender war
since birth. If you really want to know the truth,
yes.
the way I see this,
since birth.
The way I see this is we have been so like I literally just say it for what it is. Ever since we were born, we've been around fear. Okay, our parents were afraid to drop us. They were afraid that we were going to run off when we're at the age of 2 and 5. I mean, and then through school, our parents are afraid that we're going to do drugs, or afraid that we're going to be. We've been around and conditioned to just accept fear all of our lives. Okay, and I know that this may sound completely ludicrous, but what I'm saying makes a whole lot of damn sense if you think about what I'm saying to you.
No, but you're saying what it is. You're saying what it is. We've already determined that we have all been lied to. We all came into a system 400 years old, run by the same people with the same idea, and they're created a world out of their mentality, and we're supposed to fit in it. You're not going to fit me into the pedophile world.
No.
I will not. But they're systematically bringing it to everybody. Everybody can see it. It's no longer hidden. The agenda is broadcasted. Stealthily, majestically, systematically, and unforgivingly pushed, and you are not aware because you do not know yourself. You are having issues because you were mistreated by your dad. And he had issues because he was mistreated by his dad. And his dad had issues because he didn't have a dad. You have to see where your family's traumas stem from, and then you're going to see the patterns. My brother swore he would never be like my dad. But he did exactly what my dad did, even though he hated my father for doing it. And it goes on and on.
I definitely get that one because, you know, my huh?
It's the same thing. I just want to say that so that when you say what you have to say now, you will understand it. Go ahead.
I definitely I had to find myself and commandeer my own internal battle with my own son, because at his age, at 16, I was mowing yards. Okay, I was mowing yards for money. I had quit school. I did not graduate. I hated school. I hated school. I knew that there was an underlying system behind the indoctrination camp. I already knew. I hated it. So I convinced my parents to let me quit, and on condition that I had a job. Now, I not only did I drive tractor, I tattletaled on my uncle, didn't I? Not only did I drive tractor trailer at the age of 16 for him off road, right? But I also mowed grass at that age. Now, I said that to say I find myself I did find myself getting angry that I give my kid everything. I give him everything. But in the meantime, that self-residual and that's a buildup of I've almost got a what's the word? The word like a resentment. Okay? That why give it to him whenever what's he do? He takes out the damn trash. He takes out the trash, maybe cleans up the yard from time to time. But come on, man. At that age, you or I was working our asses off. But now I had to think back what I just said. I was like, why? Is because my dad did it to me, and my dad's dad did it to him. I can't be like that. I mean, truly. I mean, this was something I had to. You talk about a dark night of the soul. I had to overcome this, and now, I mean, it's somehow it's like he's gained more respect for me for knowing that. I don't know. It's really, really weird. I mean, I don't know, Rafi. I mean, I'm just telling you. I understand the circumstance.
This is good because here you have it. Your son is getting an easier life than you had.
Oh, yes.
Even though you had to mow and do things to make money. Everybody at that time was in the same frequency. But that now, this is why we have generation, and we give them names. Generation X, I'm the baby boomer, and they got names. Mm-hmm. Because every generation is being indoctrinated and is being moved further and further and further away. This is how they program. Like, by the time your child's child and his child, there's going to be nothing that you knew to be true, and they're going to be in a totally different situation. So let's say the bad people win. Your child, their kids will never ride a bike. They may not even have kids of their own. They may have children and have the children taken away from them, because that's in practice now. If they get away with that, by the time your child has a child, he can't be the kind of parent you were, even if he wanted to, because the system has another agenda. So here we have women's lib, and women want to, be able to do the same, but we have trafficking. Women trafficking. Most
right.
women are being trafficked. Okay? So that's a trigger for me, because I see the pattern that when I have great-granddaughters, they're going to be slaves. If we don't stop that now, because as a parent then, you'll have no power to teach your kids, to do with your kids the things that we're doing with our children now.
Mr. Larry, hang on. Mr. Larry B from Canada, I do believe, says my grandson loves me more than his father, and his dad is my son. What the right? But it's
probably that's normal.
The way you treat him, Paw. It's I don't know. Yeah, like Rafi said, that's normal. That's definitely normal.
This is why. What's his name?
Larry B.
Larry B. Okay, Larry B. The reason why your grandson loves you more is because now you're older, you're more patient, and you're more of a lower vibration, and you're able to talk to him. You don't have the stress of raising him, but you like spending time with him. So he's more comfortable with you. That's the whole thing with grandparents. If you have a normal set of grandparents that are good, loving people, they're already out of the crazy. You have grandparents that used to be drunks and beat their kids, and now they've transformed, they've gone through their shadow work, and now they're dealing with the grandkids. That was my dad. My dad was a womanizer, but he loves kids. Mm-hmm. Kids love him. My dad was not a good dad to me, because when I was born, he was out chasing women. And, of course, he changed and turned out to be an amazing person. But I meet him as an amazing person now in the last, I would say, 10 years or less, and I'm 60 years old. The grandkids know a great-grandfather. He's awesome. Right. But my siblings, we had to watch the transformation. And sometimes we want to lash out and talk about Dad when he used to get drunk or do the bad shit, and he stopped. But we have to remind ourselves, no, that's not him anymore. Why do we want to bring that up? Because it's a trigger. But your grandkids don't know any of that. That's why it's very important for children to be around the elderly. And what have they done to the elderly? In a Hispanic family, like right now I live with my daughter, because I'm an elderly lady now. I'm 60, and all this shit is going on, and they're like, Mom, no, we want you to be with us. We want to keep an eye on you, because you're not going to get sick with COVID, and they're killing all the old people. So the people who love and are integrated in their family brought their elderly from the nursing homes. I have several friends that said, oh, hell no. The minute code hit and that shit happened in New York, they're like, nope, we're getting our grandparents. A lady that I know built a new addition to her house to house her mom. Her dad passed away. No more nursing home. But in my culture, there was no nursing home when I was growing up. The grandparents came to live at somebody's house. Mm-hmm. And there, the family would all take care of them. Because the little children need the grandparents, because the parents are finding the self. They're running around trying to make good money and do this corporate job or do this situation, and they don't have the money to do this and that, and they're stressed. But the grandparents sit down with the children And they talk about when they were little, and they read books, and they go on outings, and they're chilled. That's the majority of grandparents. The children need them. So what's happening? Let's kill the old people. The health care is not conducive for the elderly.
No, be careful what you say,
And a
because
lot
if
of
not,
them-
Rafi, I'm just saying, because the platforms will completely censor this show, because that's just the way they work. They will say, nope, sorry, you said this.
Well,
Just saying that
whoever listens to it now, take note, because there are some things, and I'm sorry, I don't know how else to say it. You know, I understand that they'll shut your, but it is the truth. What I'm trying to get you guys is to connect the dots. You said the triggers. How do I keep my vibration? How do I stay calm, loving, communicative, cooperative, in compassion, with mercy? How do I stay there in the world the way it is today? You stay there because you know who you are. You can't change the outside of the world. You need to change it on the inside for yourself. And you need to do that by dealing with the people with the trauma. Because you locking yourself in your house and thinking that you're elite, keeping your vibration golden, you are depleting yourself from understanding the world. You're isolating. And we don't need to isolate. That's how slavery got started. We isolated the black people. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, we can't fight the government. How can somebody, listen carefully, how can somebody who's totally against slavery allow slavery to grow in our country for 200 years? If everybody's Christian and Christ said you can't do that, you can't treat people like that. How do we have a belief system that tells us to be the best person you can be? Don't persecute, don't hurt. You know the 10 Commandments. Don't do any of that shit. But we do it every day to someone else.
Well, it just goes without saying.
This conversation will get a lot of you to sit down and say, am I allowing child trafficking right now? Is this a reality? Am I being triggered by that? Or am I in my religion saying, I can't handle, God's going to take care of that, or the government's going to... The minute you give that to someone else, and you have to have it in your mind for it to create an energy, what we call the hive mind. Why don't we have a hive mind? Because we're programmed to follow the conditioned mind. The hive mind would know, I don't like being shackled. I don't like seeing it in someone else. If I see it happening to someone else and I do nothing, eventually when those people want to do it to me, they will. They'll come over and say, well, you know what? You married a black guy too. So you too, let's go. You're in this also. They don't see you as you're white. They don't see you as you're Christian. They don't see you as you're a woman. They don't see you as you're a child. Children right now are a currency. A baby is worth $10 million, 10,000, 5,000. They got numbers for these babies, and people that are, evil will say, well, I need the money, and I'll go do that because it's okay. The government is allowing it, and it's part of it.
That's the horrendous part of the system that I cannot stand, and neither can the following here.
Everything. I'm only using examples, Matt.
No, I know, everything. And you're right. You're right.
Every single thing. So, like going back to being peaceful, you really make a list. I don't like slavery. I don't like racism. I'm a good person. I want to be treated with respect. I will treat everybody with respect. And you start engaging in that behavior. When you enter the room, you calm yourself down. You breathe low and you keep your breath shallow, and that sharpens your mind and that opens your eyes to be more alert, and you walk in peacefully. Your vibration, you want it to be contagious. You walk in there happy and you smile, and everybody will smile. We want to keep a good vibration, but we're being crazy, or we're telling people this, and we're shunning other people. A shunning vibration, check yourself. Because you're like, oh, I don't want to deal with this drama queen. Why is she a drama queen? How is she related to you? Did she come to you for advice? Don't say, no, I'm tired, or no, I can't deal with you. I don't like the way you do things.
No, that makes sense. Totally makes sense.
That is what keeps you in a high vibration, looking to keep yourself. That's like ego. You're trying to keep yourself safe. But that's the function of the ego. But everybody got ego wrong. Why? Because you want to self-preservate. That's not good either. Once you find the self, you know what happens? You love everybody. And you welcome everybody. And you're not afraid of people. And when you have scary people in front of you, they'll know that they can't really F with you because you're not asleep. When I walk into the room, I get love. It's rare that I'll get somebody trying to hurt me. Rare. And then I'll talk to that person and say, I'm sorry. Why are you mad at me? And I start a dialogue and a conversation. And once they start talking, they'll tell me, and I can, do you realize that this happened to you, and why are you approaching that to me? You don't even know me. And then I teach them about their trigger. And now I've made a new friend. You know, I just want you guys to understand that these people that have been controlling us, they've been practicing the psychology, the science, the mathematics. They control everything. And you're going to have to find yourself so beautifully that your doctor can't lie to you. The scientist can't lie to you. Your neighbor can't lie to you, because you know. You feel it, you understand, and you stay calm.
There are, Rafi, it seems, there are some really, really, really angry ass people in this world. I'm just saying, I mean, Mr. Andy Cassidy said something about Matt. What did he say? Matt, that is called pride. Just my opinion, but a good thought.
What's called pride?
I don't know. Mr. Andy Cassidy owes me a phone call. Why don't you call in and explain to me what you're talking about? A smile is always with your heart. Whenever you smile with your heart, says Earl Fields. Fields. Is that right? Fields?
Yeah. But everybody says go with your heart energy. But what if your heart's been raped and your heart energy is messed up with the trauma? People are out there pretending with this high vibration thing, with this, I am so happy, don't talk to me about any negativity. I can't, I can't even do it. But you've heard it. How
for sure
people are protecting themselves from any negativity. They are dampening their learning, and they're really hurting the process of moving in transformation. You know, yes, I'll say this. My husband turned out to be, my ex-husband, very negative. And then he married another lady who now is like a Karen who hates black people. And guess what? His children are mixed. My children are half black and half white.
Oh boy.
But my ex has fallen a person. I've never detected any racism out of my ex towards us. Every now and then he'll say, "Oh, they call the N word to a person who's not educated, who walks or talks foolishly." And that's how, people see that of my same race when they call each other that same name, the N word.
Right.
But now that word has so much power to cause violence because people are not desensitizing it. And it's never going to go away. Now there's like, it's okay for us to call each other niggers, but other people that are not our color cannot say that. Okay, if that's the case, stop saying it altogether. Or let them say it. And now it no longer, it's applicable to people of color. That's what happened with the word B-I-T-C-H.
Hey, Raph. So now I get what Andy Cassidy's saying. He's like, so let me put it to you this way. Whenever you have too much pride, it is putting yourself into a whole different experience and in your walk with Jesus. That's what he's saying. See, I don't buy into the whole that entire. I don't buy into that narrative. I just don't. That's his perception. The way you want to say it, the way you want to take it, that's fine, Andy. I specifically don't look at it like that.
Andy, Jesus never, ever shunned anybody. He welcomed the widows, and the widows were not a group of people that were liked in the old times. He welcomed the women. We still have problems getting women to join groups. He didn't. And was he proud? I would say Jesus was very proud of himself when he walked around and taught things to people. We're not looking at pride the right way. We're using the word pride to shun. Pride is when you are happy with who you are and what you do and you're a balanced person. It's not the same to have false pride. It's when you portray yourself to be something else that you're not. That's what it means by false pride. But everyone who has pride in their work is because they've done well. They're doing it correctly. If you are proud that you're a good neighbor, you go help other people. If you're proud that you raised your children, they went to college, they did things to help themselves. False pride is when you lie and you boast about things that have nothing to do with anything with you, but you're using it to hurt someone else. But a lot of people will talk religion but not understand what is being said. For example, ego. Ego is designed for all humans to have to save yourself. Okay, we're not hunter-gatherers anymore, and the lion isn't going to come and attack us, and we're not going to say, "Oh my God, I'm scared of the lion," and run. You go to the zoo and you're like, "There's the lion. I'm not afraid of it like I would have been if I was in the jungle."
Right.
You know? So now we're learning. I could be proud that I took my kids to the zoo. We're not afraid of the lions. And the ego is going to be run, fight or flight.
Yep.
When you are cornered about something you didn't work, your trigger, your ego will come out the wrong way because you didn't work on your trigger. So your ego is going to snap and call people name and act a fool. You didn't work on your triggers. And
I
so,
like.
is the ego bad? No, the ego's not bad. It's sick because you didn't work on your triggers.
I like Tammy
So
Bottoms
now your ego.
right there. Tammy Bottoms said it best. We call them posers. Call them posers. I like that. You're right, Rafaela. Amazing. This switchboard has been open the entire night for the last every bit for the top. This is the top of the hour, and I do believe that this area code is an Australian area code. So you want to take an Australian call, Rafaela?
Oh yes, I'll take any call. Beautiful.
Okay. All right.
Well, good day, everybody.
Well, good day, my love. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I have to say thank you so much for this session. It's so worthwhile at the moment, isn't it?
We needed this. We did need this.
I am so
We
glad
do.
that I can help.
Oh,
Do you have
just a
triggers?
damn? Do I have triggers?
Do you have a trigger
Is that what
or
you said?
something that bothers? Yeah.
Oh, I've kind of worked through all of my triggers. I didn't know whether I should call or not, but given that this was a show on mindfulness, I was really seeing its value. And hats off to you for talking about the spiritual side of things, because it's so important right now. Because our consciousness is what they are actually trying to go after.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so glad you said that.
Well, let
But
me
I've learned something very.
let me explain who we're talking to. Because Rafi, this is Miss Alexa Jamison from Australia. She too is a very like-minded, positive, spiritual contactee. So she's with you. She can throw down. She understands what you're throwing down here. Definitely.
Yep. It's so important. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Well, I was excited.
One at a time, ladies. Alexa, say what you're gonna say. What you wanted to say.
You're cutting off a little bit, honey. Just go ahead and tell me. What do you want to say?
There's a bit of a time lag, unfortunately. This is really important to me. I've spent most of my career teaching mindfulness to leaders and staff that are stressed, right? But the last 2 years, it's become so much more than that for all of us as a collective right across the world. We are experiencing extreme trauma, and I get concerned with that because the after effects will be PSTD, not just for us, but for our children who just don't understand it, And I came across something that I thought might be valuable to share with everyone. I hope you don't mind.
Please.
No, please, go ahead.
Yeah, please do.
Well, I sat in on a webinar this week, and if anyone wants to go and watch the webinar, they most definitely should. It explains so much, not to just what's happening to us spiritually, but what's happening to us physically. And it's something that we need to be aware of. They taught me, you could look it up, it's Michael Jaco on Rumble. He's been in the Naughty Corner for so long, he's on Rumble, right? So he had a specialist on board that is treating people for trauma and PSTD with some very interesting insights. And it's something that we might like to be aware of. She paints the picture that we have 3 parts of our brain. I'm just sort of looking at my notes so I can help you with this. So we've got the human brain, right? And it has all its different, because we're so electrical. We respond, we're full of electricity. And you've got the human brain, but then you've got the heart brain, and then you've got the gut brain. And all of those three interconnect. And to be healthy, we need to integrate them. And it makes sense because they actually took some scans, function scans, of a person that suffered brain damage, but also trauma. And the blood flow in that brain had, you wouldn't believe the decay of the blood flow in that brain. So this is what stress is doing to us. This is what they are doing to us. They were breaking us down because this interconnects and it's integrated and it taps into our consciousness. And it's so important to understand it. And if you want to have a look at that video, I highly recommend it because it explains why we're reacting the way we are, fight and flight. Fear. This is what they're trying to program. They've been programming on this for years. They've just ramped it up, right? And to hell with them, I say. But I wholly recommend everyone looking at this because we're so full of electricity that affects our vibration, right? Because we are ascending. They can't stop that. We are ascending. And whether we believe in God or whether we believe in anything that, our beliefs, they're testing us. And so, yeah, it was the most incredible, worthwhile an hour and a half or 2 hours I've ever spent. It talks about the heart center being even more powerful than the brain. And if we can keep ourselves healthy, get that fish oil into us, get the serotonin sorted, you put your hand on your heart and just simply breathe and go out and walk in nature because that's what they gave us was nature. And remember love. Yeah, love and tolerance. Yeah, and love and tolerance. Yeah.
Yeah, but see, love and tolerance, you can say that to people all day long. But if they have been mistreated, if they have been abandoned, if they have been raped and hurt in the worst way, those people do not understand that language because they've never felt it to know what it is.
Oh.
So,
to
tell people,
I can talk from experience. I was attacked by Dracos at 10. I was multiply raped at 13. I came out of an abusive family. Does that frame me now? No. It's made me know the value of love and every single person and their stress levels and how they deal with it. It's made me an empath. It's made me a light worker. It's made me a human being, whole.
Right, but here's the thing. I went through similar situation. The thing with when you talk about the Dracos, that's everybody. That's the politician. That's the elite. That's everybody. The Draco mind gets in there when there is a lack of self. I started to talk about this in another show and how they host. And if you're not the type of person to hurt someone else and they can't get at you, they'll pick someone else to hurt you. And then they'll work it. So you have two polarities. You'll either be hurt so much that you have empathy for yourself. Again, we'll go back to the self. You have empathy for yourself and you knew that you didn't cause this. You can't blame yourself, and then you start to heal. And then the other extreme is you've hurt me and I am angry and now I can do it to you, and then you will be a perpetrator. And it's the spectrum of the emotional feeling and the process that you had to go through in the understanding of what trauma you've been through. Not everyone becomes a perpetrator. a perpetrator. Not everyone is going to hurt other people. But the people who found themselves, we're talking about the self, where you do your shadow work and you come to the conclusion, this happened to me, but I didn't cause it. I have to get better. I have to be better than that. And I'm now going to protect people who were done like I was done. We go back in the same loop. Listen, I can't give you fancy names, and I taught this for the past 30 years. And the way that I want people to understand it is, you have got to find the fact that you matter. No trigger, no behavior, no trauma is going to be bigger than you. And that's a decision. In order for you to have come out of all of that, you made that decision. You must have said, you know what, those Dracos are not better than me. They're not going to get me to be what they want me to be. That's rebellion. Rebellion is good.
My introduction to Draco was when it was somewhat different, right? Because I'm Pleiadian, right? So I've got a different mindset, I guess, to many. But victimhood doesn't help anybody, right? When I had the first attack with Draco, I really meant I had the first attack with Draco. I was a young girl with some school friends, and we were having a Ouija board session, right? And they focused on me in the Ouija session, and they started to have a conversation with me because they knew my mission on Earth was to bring light and love to the world and balance to the world. And I told them where to go and what to do with it, and stick it up there, you know what. And next thing I knew, the whole room was destroyed. Physically, it was destroyed. They shattered glass. They threw things in the room.
Oh,
they chucked everything around. And I stood up to them and said, I can't say what I said, but I said it. And that was my first introduction to true Draco. So, and then we can talk about the Archons one day, Matt.
Okay.
The Archons infiltrated us some time ago, and they're in the 4D, and they're bringing out all these fears and entities and everything else. They exist in the 4D realm, and they have had control out of us, and they've been thriving and feasting on our energy at the moment, which is pure fear. And all I can do is just love everybody and enable them to understand that they have power, they have choice, and it's up to them if they give that away or not.
And Miss Alexa,
and it's really serious.
It's key to also let everyone know that you too are a teacher in sorts, you know, because you are. Whenever it comes down to trying to
a quiet one,
but still,
is a teacher.
You know, but
everybody is a teacher.
That you. I see you. Trust me. On Facebook, I see you. You have got a way that you talk to individuals and people also, and if I can sit back and watch them, and the kinder you are to them, the more mad they get. So they need to be here listening how to get away to process this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's a trigger, Matt. She's being kind and loving and helpful, and that's her purpose, and that's a beautiful purpose, and she's doing it. And after going through the Draco thing, well, that's even more important. The minute she talks to people that are not understanding, that have everything gone wrong with them, and she talks love and light, they're going to get triggered, and they're going to be angry, and they're going to act up. I get that on my page 24 hours a day. But what can we do? We cannot tell them go away. We help them.
No.
Let me stop you. I got two really, really good spiritual teachers, healers here. We got to reach out to our boy down in AU, also next to you, Miss Alexa. Mr. Richard Rollers is like, I don't know what's going on here, but something is bringing me down. I can feel darkness all around me. I feel like no matter how much I do good, the evil always embeds itself into me. I'm not a good person. Hang on.
Wow,
I'm not a good person. The outside Mister is different. You know what I'm saying? This is what I mean. This is how do you talk to him, please.
I'm sorry, could you repeat? Could you repeat what he said again? Because it's really important to absorb that.
Okay, so this is from Mr. Roller, and I love him to pieces. He's my show host down on AU, and he's like, I don't know what's going on, but some of I gotta pin this because it's bouncing. I don't know what's going on, but something is bringing me down. I can feel the darkness all around me. I feel like no matter how much I do good, the evil always embeds itself into me. I'm not a good person. The outside Mister is just different.
Can I talk to him?
Well, one of you go, and then the other one, yeah. So just don't talk over one another.
What is his name again?
Richard Roller.
Richard
Roller. Richard, there was a time, I must have been about 22 years old, that I felt exactly what you said, and it just blew my mind the way you said it, and it's so much was going on that I wanted to hang on to what you said, because when you start your transformation, when you start, and you've been doing good, you want to be a good person, but if you've been surrounded by that kind of energy your whole life, it wants to follow. So the fact that you can see that all this negativity wants to grab you, you have moved many steps up, my friend. And a lot of my students that come to me have this issue because right now you are in the middle of a two-way street with the polarities pulling you from one side to the other. But you already know you're a good person because you're doing good, but you feel like you're not because these situations still follow you. Cleaning your auric field is not going to happen overnight. But if you continue to say you matter, you continue to say and change the language. If you're doing good and negativity hits you, then you do different things to stop it. First of all, I get a lot of my students to journal. What is it that's going on that you feel is evil? How is it coming into your space? A lot of people will smudge and do different things, but the fact that you know that it's coming in and it's not just sneaking in and becoming havoc in your life, you've already got the upper hand to control it. You know, nothing is just random. And remember, your auric field is powerful. So you have the control to be able to say, you know what? Not today. That's your power. The minute you say, you know what? No, not today. To whatever evil that is that wants to suck you in. When I was going through this, I had a boyfriend that I loved, and then I had another friend that liked me, and there was this tug of war, and the person that I was gravitating to was very evil. But it took me to stand there and feel the difference when I'm with this person and I'm with that person, because this person was pulling me in sexually, and it was using sexual energy to drain me And so I had to really hang out with other people to see the difference. Now that I'm an adept and I know what to deal with, I can deal with that evil in my face. And it won't not change my energy because I invested in me and who I am. But at that time, I didn't know that. So what I'm trying to say to you is you are aware of it. You just told us. That's wonderful. That's powerful. So now you're going to be in awareness of when this is happening, and then you're going to be more prepared to deal with it. But don't be afraid. There's no reason to fear. You have identified it. You know that it's there. And when it's in your face, you can say, no, I am not going to do that. No, I am not going to enter in that mindset. No, this is not for me. It's not. And it starts to dissipate. You have to become the warrior, very, very strong against the evil mind, the evil infiltration, the evil suggestions. You get a thought in your mind of something that is not normal, that may not be you. Then you have to sit down and say, okay, do I want to do that? Where are these suggestions coming from? Who is putting this in my field of energy?
What do you think, Alexa?
And then you start to black. You block this.
I get it.
Well, I think that's excellent advice. Yep.
This is
Matt, is Richard known as the guru? I have to ask this question. I'm asking it for a reason.
Oh yeah, well of course he is. Yes. He is known as the guru. Yes, he is. And he's got a hell of a strong light.
Right now.
Yes, ma'am. And he's got hell of a strong heart. He does.
Yeah. And he's listening right now, right? So
yeah, I mean,
what I'd like to say to Richard is receive my light right now, Richard. If you could see what I see about you in my heart and evidence in my eyes, you are the man that has set up Matrix Minds Australia. You are a leader. And I have listened to other shows that you've been on, and your words are helping humanity beyond even your own comprehension, right? And I feel that, like me at the moment, and quite a few others even in the chat, I have to urge you and just make you know this. We are currently being psychically attacked, right? And it is, it's from the 4D, it is Archon, it's programmed, it's an old program, but you are a leader, and I have watched you help so many. You've helped me. My God, your clarity, your words, your vision, it brings me to tears.
Oh.
Sorry.
Richard, you got to remember, bro, I don't take this show very lightly. Okay? So for me to pass the torch to you, to get you to open the eyes of humanity on a completely different side of my planet, I chose you. My universe chose you. Okay? It's seen the light in you. And like Miss Alexa said, we are right now psychically being attacked, bro. You just spoke about paralysis. You woke up and you felt being held down. Dude, that is exactly what Miss Alexa said. A psychic attack, a physical attack. You know what? Miss Rafaela can very much so back this up too. The brighter your light is, dude, you're going to get bombarded. But you need to know that we are here for you.
Yeah.
We are your tribe, my friend, and you are with me.
Yeah.
We are the tip of the spear when it comes to this. Believe me. We are a together tribe. Okay, relax. It's going to be all right.
Is it possible that he can call? Can he call so I can hear his voice?
But also,
Absolutely.
there's one thing I'd like to say to him. There's just one more thing I'd like to say to Richard, because the ones that are making the difference are getting attacked right now. This truly is a spiritual war for our consciousness, and we are all warriors, and you are very, very strong. But please, if you're not doing it in your spiritual practice, and this is for everyone else as well, for your spiritual practice every day, when you get up in the morning, you do a small ceremony on yourself. You protect yourself. You put that light right around you. I call on Jesus' light right now. He is my ascended master. He is my Lord. And I call on him now for that light every morning. And I don't just do it for me. Then I spread it in the suburbs. Then I spread it in the city. Then I spread it out of the country. Then I go right across the country. It's working your light, Richard, because you've got so much of it. And do that practice every morning and every evening, so that when you go to bed, you are protected from it. You rebuke it. It is not in your vicinity anymore, and you cast it away from yourself. And that's it, my friend. I love you.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. That was beautiful. That's pretty much the way I do it too. That was amazing. I'm glad. I love the way she said that ending there for him, because he really, really needs to know that the attacks on people that are doing what is right is immense, especially people starting out in the transformation. Thank you. That was amazing. Very nice. Thank you.
Richard. Hey, Richard.
Thank you.
I don't
love you, Richard.
I don't love you. I love you. You know that we love you, bro. And yeah, you've got one hell of a good light, man. And you would not be where you are in the Matrix Minds AU if I didn't see that light in you. I definitely need you to know that, because I see you as a leader, and that's indeed what you are. So don't get down, bro. You got it.
No, you've got to hang on to yourself and hug yourself every day, and know that you matter, because when you start to go there, all that negativity is going to come at you. It's going to want to take you down. It's fighting the programming.
Hey, ladies,
and it'll show up on people that you love,
This is going to get chaotic because you guys got a little bit of a delay, but I'm going to take this
but that's okay.
I'm going to take this Nevada call because it's been hanging on there. I do believe this is Socrates.
Did our friend from Australia leave? Did we say goodbye?
No, it's Alexa Janice is still there. What's up, Socrates?
Matt, you should have accepted my call. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Richard, I love you too, bro. What he's doing? I'm watching lightning right now. I'm on the border of Texas and Louisiana, and I'm watching the skies, and I'm listening to you guys. And it's an amazing journey right now. I just saw the sky crack, like lightning and everything across it. I just can't say enough of how much you guys mean to me. Everything that the Matrix Minds is doing right now, it's like everything you guys are talking about when it comes down to spirituality of our spiritual family, of all of us being connected, all of us being only through the power of many can we become the one, right? and I'm watching it. I'm feeling it. There's no words to describe it. You can't. I'm in contact with Matt and a lot of other people with their shows, and we don't need to talk. It's all mind. It's all the call me crazy, telekinesis. It's all we communicate with each other. We wake up. We greet each other in the morning. We greet each other at night, and it's just been an amazing journey. And that's all I gotta say. I just wanted to thank everybody that is in here tonight.
Thank you, Socrates. Seriously,
Yeah,
brother, thank you.
Socrates.
I have a stop you. I love you, Socrates.
I love you
Yeah.
too.
All right, man.
Something else that might help, Matt.
Yeah, it's what's that?
Something else that might help, Matt. So I know people, or a lot of people understand timelines, and our timeline is fluid at the moment, and the archons are working overtime to ripple down dark energy to us, into the planes of our existence. Something that I could recommend to Richard is that he looks up Rising Phoenix Aurora. Rising Phoenix Aurora. She has done so much work on this, and she's done work on who the archons are, what they do, but she also has the most amazing protection ceremony that you can do, where you can fill up that ball that comes from your heart and extends out for protection. It is so worthwhile to do that, because what's happening is with every decision that we make, we create a fractal of our soul that goes on a different timeline. And I would suggest to Richard that he does a meditation. You can find them online on YouTube, where you do a fractal soul return. I did this when I was fully awakened and activated over 18 months ago. I called back my soul fractal. You might benefit from this, Richard. You might benefit from it because you're also absorbing other people's energy. So the soul return, the fractal soul return is, I would highly recommend that to you. Now I'll shut up.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. All right, Socrates, I'm going to jump off.
That was a lot. Sorry.
Take your line. The only reason why is because on this side end, I don't know why, but I've got an echo.
Uh-huh.
Do you got any more questions, or would you like to comment on anything of tonight before I boot you? Share some love with all of our friends down in Mexico, bro.
No, I love you all across the world. That's all.
We definitely love you back, bro. We do, and you are our eyes and ears out there on the road, because I no longer drive tractor trailer, so you and Steve both.
You will soon.
Oh no.
You hang out with us, bro.
Oh, I'm not hanging out with you. Put it that way. I'm not.
Yes,
You won't catch me out there anymore. I'm DONE, done.
Oh, just wait. I got some
no.
insight for you later.
What?
Let's
You
not
what?
get into that right now. I
No.
got some insight for you, you know.
Yeah, no, dude. You ain't gonna catch me back there. Sorry, bro. Nope. No way. On that
We
note,
all need you, Matt.
share
we all
some
need you.
love, bro, because I'm booting you. Share some love.
I'm out of here.
All right, buddy. Take care of yourself.
Love y'all.
Good night.
Good night, Socrates.
He said goodbye. What do you think, Miss Alexa and Rafi? You guys did you have a good night tonight?
Yeah,
I
it was
did.
really
I really
good.
enjoyed. Yeah, Rafaela was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Oh man, Alexa, you can't leave without saying something positive to humanity. I know you've already shared some love with Richard, our commandant down
Yeah.
under, but please say something to all of the other light workers, starseeds, and part of the tribe that can very much so hear you literally around the world, around the globe.
Oh, okay. Oh, no pressure.
No pressure.
You know, it's been a hard, long fought war, and we're still not there. Our consciousness is what they're after. We will continue to lay the light work grid across the world. We will the 4D Archon grid is dissolving. We are winning this war for humanity, and I embrace every single light worker, truther, person that's searching for the truth, person that cares because they're on this to learn. I embrace all of you with a lot of love. And we are strong because we're one. We can't forget that. That's why they're losing. We are one. And I love everybody. Thank you very much for letting me speak tonight.
You're welcome, Alexa. Definitely welcome. You can call back anytime, you know that, and we appreciate you sharing some love. And it's, yeah, if we are one, I tell you what, I'm triggered, and it's time to do some stuff. It's time to move mountains with that good energy, no doubt about that. Thank you, Miss Alexa. All right, honey. Good night to you.
Good night, everybody. I love you. Good night.
Good night.
All righty then. What do you think, Miss Rav? Was it a good night? Yeah?
Oh, it's good night. You know, it kind of took a different turn, but okay. I feel like the positivity has to be understood. The negativity cannot be pushed away. It has to be understood. Positivity has to come from understanding that you know what's happening. And when you know what's going on with you, not very many things are going to trigger you and bother you. I feel that gets pushed to the side a lot. You know, the consciousness is what they're taking from us and the unity, and nobody can get shunned. If you can't handle someone that's going through some bad stuff first, sit down, write down how they affect you. This is what we started this discussion on.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's okay to talk about the archons and all these things. A lot of people don't know those terms. And I'm talking to people who are feeling that this may be coming from family members, this could be coming from community people, this could be coming from their spouses. And so how are you going to look at those people that you love that are acting up, that need some kind of reassurance when you are not allowing them to come into your space? Because that was the trigger, right? That you having to deal with people that are not in the same space that you are, right? Triggers, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Well, you know, again, it was a whole new learning curve for me, Rafi. Whenever, you know, every like we started in the beginning of the show. Like I told you, the new age thing is like keep your vibration high and don't let it come down. Well, what I learned tonight was completely opposite of that. Being calm and being collective and resonating at a calmness is truly the way to be. That is the way to be. Like you said, whenever you meet someone and they're like fight or flight or zing 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 zing, that is like I said earlier, that is like aluminum foil on a filling in your tooth. I mean, I get it. I definitely get it. It's complete opposite. You still with me?
When we're attacked, we have to know if we're really attacked, because sometimes it is our internal feelings taking on or assuming that people are against us. When your friend said that, it just warmed my heart.
Gosh.
Because the goodness, the good things that you do, and the more you do good, you get stabbed in the back, and you're like, but why? But why did that happen? See, I want people to reflect on the why, so that they can figure it out, that it's not them. It's not that you did something wrong. Your friend said that, and I really wanted to, and I didn't really get a chance to talk. I wanted to hear his voice and hear him say that, what he's going through, because that was extremely important to
Richard.
break down what you wanted to know today. Yes, what you wanted to know today. How does a good person that's going through the process of doing good things, good deeds, and feeling helpless because nothing that he's doing is turning out right, and it's turning against him, and it's making him feel like he's a bad person. That's everybody. That's what's happening to all of us right now. Wow, that was deep.
That was very deep.
Well, I hope.
I've got Rafi. Rafi, I've got some really, really good hope for Richard, and that is because he won't stay down there long. He will not stay. He will not allow his consciousness mind to stay at that level, because I know him better than what he said tonight.
Nobody stays at that level. Different steps. Nobody stays at that level.
No.
But to be able to talk about that level the way he did was amazing, because he said, you know what, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and he knows himself. He wants to do good. But he's dealing with people who didn't get to that step yet. He's on level 5, and he's helping people who are on level 2, and they're going to spit in his face. They're going to backstab. They're not going to understand. I deal with that every day. And the fact that he's moving up into the what you guys call ascension, moving into his own goodness to reach the level that he wants, closer to the Godhead, to the Creator, the more people are going to attack. That is the show within itself. I could talk about that all day long, because everybody in the world is sitting there right now and asking the question, why is everything so bad? Why is evil in our space? But we spent a lot of years being asleep not to see it. So we don't want to close our eyes to it, Matt. We want to look at every inch of it so that it doesn't approach us. Sometimes, you can ceremonies, and of course teaching people to do ceremonies and how to get rid of this and this and that. How do you fight a war if you don't know the enemy? How do you fight the war if you don't know what kind of ammunition they're using? And how do you win that war if you don't want to deal with the negativity altogether, you shut it down because you don't want to deal with it, they win. Because they always got the upper hand if you're feeling bad about yourself. They always got the upper hand if you're feeling bad about yourself. So how do you feel better about yourself? You spend time with you. You spend time in nature. You learn to meditate. That is such a wonderful thing. And meditation is not the same for everybody. You can do walking meditation, which is walking, going for a long walk, but as you take a step, you're telling your mind, you're affirming, I am a good person, I'm not giving up, I'm going to fight for this, I'm going to do this, and you build up the narrative of who you are. That's walking meditation. When you do a sitting meditation, you close your eyes and you're in stillness. That meditation, when you learn to breathe a certain way, was going to stop your brain from talking too much. Because the attacks are not always from the outside. The mental attacks are old programs in our mind. While we're evolving into better people, the attack is real.
Well, of course.
And we don't want to minimize that. We don't want to minimize that. We want to be in awareness of it. We want to dissect it. We want to understand it before you even do a ritual to remove it. Because you have to know what it is. If you go to the doctor and you have a heart problem, and he looks at the heart problem from the outside, and it doesn't fix it, he's going to have to go on the inside.
Right.
So everything we do spiritually has to be on the inside.
That was just
Sometimes
said tonight.
You need a surgeon.
That was just said tonight, honey, and I don't remember who said it, but I do remember seeing it in the chat that our inside world creates our outside experience.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Miss Tammy Bonham says, I gotta definitely shout out real quick to her. She's like, we all should light a candle. We all should light a candle and say some prayers and protection for Richard. I have got no problem doing that. No problem at all doing that. I love that. I love that dude with all my heart. He is truly my brother from another mother. I'm not kidding you. I mean, I don't know if it's the music connection. I'm a drummer. He's a drummer, and I'm the Matrix host here in the U.S., and he's now my commandant, the AU Matrix Maestro. I don't know. I really don't know. It's just it's like I told you guys earlier. It's a tribe thing, and whenever I see that brother that's struggling, because I read it and I really felt it, just like you guys did.
It was amazing.
I did.
Just the fact that he wrote it the way he wrote it, and he was honest and not afraid or apologetic to put it down. My hat out to him. He is like the amazing person, because in all my time teaching, studying, and all that, people do not always come so clean.
Right.
He said, I'm a bad person. No, you're not a bad person. You're feeling the effect of what other people who are, again, being triggered by him because he's being good. We got to go back to the trigger. That's what's causing him to feel that way. That is a trigger. And he said it. He listened. He said it fantastically. That made my night. That right there made it for me tonight. I want to send him all my love. I'm hugging him. I am expressing to him that he is the most amazing person, because he is aware and he's not afraid to say it like it is. That's power.
He made it clear. He made it very clear.
He will be amazing, outstanding healer, confidant, and friend to anybody. And he won't be afraid of the people who come to him with some terrible evil shit, because he already experienced some bad stuff and took it to the core, took it to the very core of his being.
You're right.
Don't feel bad for him. He's ahead. He's ahead of a whole lot of people.
It's not that
he can talk it, feel it, and he is going to work it.
It's not that we're feeling bad for him. It's not that we're feeling bad for Richard at all. We're not feeling bad for him. What we're doing is trying. I know you know where we're at. This community. I'm telling you right now, the matrix breaking community. These brainiacs, they love one another. They do. They support one another, and they're smart. They're all smart. And whenever someone comes out and says that, as part of the community, it's like, what can I do to help you? It's not that we're feeling bad for you, Richard, or for him. It's just we know where he's at. We definitely know where he's at, and we want to share some love. You know what I mean? We've all been there. We've definitely all been there.
Yeah, Matt, that's the response. What you did and your friend from Australia, all of this is the response to what he said. He said it in the proper place where the tribe is that is able to listen and respond. That, and I'm telling you, it's not so easy to people to write and say it like that. That was amazing. I want to copy that. I want to be able to look into it a little bit deeper.
It's in the chat. It's in the chat. It's there. It's there as long as he didn't delete it, which I don't think he did. I hope he didn't. Jessica McTarsley says it's because we can relate to him. We absolutely can relate to you, Richard.
Yeah, of course. We can relate to him. We can always relate to somebody who's up and honest about himself, herself, when they're seeking to find themselves. Because the glimpse of self is going to come when you're talking to other people. Do you sometimes talk and people let you talk, and then you're like, dag, I just heard myself and I know what to do? Like,
I do that all the time, yes.
All is let you talk and let you let it out, and he let it out. And once you let it out, you're like, Dad, yeah, I see it. Because it's a process. He put it out there. That is brilliant. That was beautiful. That's very beautiful.
Miss Amber is I totally new name in the chat for me. Welcome aboard, Miss Amber. Shout out to you. She says we are all transmuters. We transmute the darkness to the light through understanding, non-judgment. Badass statement right there. Amazing statement, Miss Amber.
Okay, yeah. Miss Amber, when you say no judgment, I want you to understand what that is. Because if you see, if you listen, if you speak, if you have a mind, your mind is going to move. Judgment only means you know that from this. But if you're talking about judgment as making somebody feel bad for who they are, that's base judgment. And so base judgment doesn't serve anybody. When you put somebody down, it doesn't serve anybody.
Nope.
But when you teach someone a better way to do something, that serves somebody. But a lot of people will take that as judgment. I just put a video on my page of a chicken that had her egg in front of her face. I'm going to put your name to that one so that you can see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
When you say judgment, the chicken had an egg in front of her, and another chicken came, took the egg with her beak, rolled it under the other chicken's wing. Cluck, 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 and left. That's a chicken. But if you do that to a human, they get annoyed, like a person who needed that kind of help because maybe they didn't know how to do it. Or maybe they didn't understand something. I teach judgment. The ancients teach judgment. Judgment is the third strand before God. And when they tell you only God judges, that's a program so that you cannot see what bad other people are doing. If you start to think, why did we let these people do this to us for so long? For example, the church, pedophilia, hurting little children, that's been going on for centuries. But now we see it because we're talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're like, oh my God, how are people not saying anything? Because they were taught not to judge the church. And then you're taught not to judge each other.
Yep.
And then you're taught not to judge each other. But if you love somebody and you care for them, you'll tell them the truth. It may show up as a bad judgment on your part if that person gets triggered. But if you tell that person something good for them out of your love, out of your heart, it's never going to feel like a bad judgment unless they're not ready to change. Then they're going to take it. You could tell somebody something fabulous and lovingly, and if they're triggered and they're not ready for that change, it's going to be like you call them a bad name, and they're going to be upset. That's why you cannot take things personal. But when you say we're here to love and we're here to help each other, then honesty needs to be at the forefront. And sometimes you're going to have to correct someone or teach someone or give an advice or show a discernment. All of those things fall in the realm of judgment. Not just you saying crap about somebody because it feels good to you. That's not judgment.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely not the way that judgment is taught. But that's how everybody does it when they're ignorant of it. So if we say, I am a good person and there's no judgment, that will not be a true statement because there is judgment. Even if you today gave Richard a good advice after what he said, he put a statement out that was very open to be judged. And that's the brilliant part of it, because he said, I am a bad person, because all of this is happening to me. Because you know what? People tell other people in this spiritual community, if you are having a tough life and bad shit is happening to you, you must be a bad person. Mm-hmm. And that's not true. That's not true. It's far from the truth. Bad people know they're doing bad. Bad people enjoy doing bad. Bad people go out of their way to do bad things. Bad people don't cry if you cry because of what they said. And you got to judge them. You have to be able to say, you're acting narcissistically. Don't treat me that way.
And that's
I'm not
judgment.
accepting that.
Yeah, that's a judgmental statement.
And that's judgment. That is judgment.
Mm-hmm.
It is a statement of truth. If you don't know the truth, it's going to feel bad if you get triggered. The truth is going to hurt like a judgment sometimes. And it only does that when you're not either listening or you're not ready for that to be in your space. And sometimes we're not ready, but the people who love us do help us. You know, you can't say, I have a mentor, without saying, my mentor is allowed to judge me. My teacher is allowed to judge me, to say, no, you're using F or G sound, but we're doing the violin and you got to go to a lower whatever.
She's allowed to judge me and he's allowed to judge me, but no, that person is not allowed to judge me. I get where you're going here. You can have selective judgment.
No.
What?
There is no such thing. There is no such thing. For the ancients, there is like judgment, and there's wisdom, there's understanding. Those three go together. You cannot have judgment without understanding, otherwise that's base judgment. You're just talking shit about something you know nothing about.
Did you hear that? You're just I love the way she puts things. It's just so fluid.
It just has to be. Because I want people to understand, and I want it to be applied. Don't feel bad for what you're thinking. If you're thinking something awful, write it down. Why did I think that? Is it me? Because other entities will talk. On that last show, I wanted to explain this so that people can understand. Don't be afraid of your thoughts. Dissect them. Analyze them. And that's how you find the self. You need to know who you are so that when negativity hits you, you know right away it's not you. And sometimes people are being kind to you, they're being loving to you, they're correcting and helping you to do better, and you take it the wrong way because somebody had to say something. That's your ego.
Oh, say it again. Say what you just said again, because I'm going to tell you now, what you just said happens to me a lot. Why? I don't know if it's I read shit wrong in text, and I know I'm not alone. Matrix breakers. I know I'm not alone up in here. Up in here. I'm not alone. Repeat what you just said, Raph.
Everybody. Okay. If someone, you have to listen to the intent and the sound of people when they talk to you. If someone corrects you, whether good or not, you get triggered. If you got triggered and you know that person loves you and they're not out to get you or embarrass you or whatever, why are you letting it take you somewhere else? If you let it take you to that place where you are angry and resentful, you are in ego because you really don't want to listen. You really don't want that to change.
I see you,
and
Alexa.
Being in ego doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you have a trauma. Inside there, whatever triggered you is an open wound, a frozen time in your energy field where anytime anybody mentions something to that effect, it's going to make you mad. It's going to upset you. We were talking about how the triggers affect us.
Mm-hmm.
And there's triggers everywhere. And your ego is bad when those triggers come out and you come out into the defense when you're not understanding what people are trying to achieve when they talk with you.
Oh, my God.
If you're getting triggered, it is good. God bless you. If you say you're not triggered and you go home and break things where nobody else can see you, you're never going to ascend. You're never going to move out of your spirituality. You're faking it. It's going to fall flat. But if you're triggered by somebody, then you have to go and look at that person and say, what are they trying to do? Is that person trying to hurt me? Does that person not like me? And dismantle the taking it personal part of it. Another good book, if you take it personal, The Four Agreement by Don Miguel Ruiz, that teaches you not to assume, because we assume a bunch of shit. That's ego. If you don't want to be in bad ego, listen to what I'm saying, bad ego, because ego is good. If you're acting out of a bad ego, then you are not working yourself. If you're assuming, you didn't ask question. You didn't go to that person and say, hey, explain that to me again, because I'm upset, but I don't know if that's what you mean. That's being forthright, and that calls for truth. That calls for truth. And you're going to get truth. And truth is always good. Even if it feels bad, it's always good. If you know what they're saying, it's the truth. But if you're getting mad because they're telling you the truth, you're in ego, in bad ego, because you're not ready to change.
Yo, Rafi. You're right.
You know, love is so powerful and so amazing. And people who tell you the truth, even if it hurts, they fucking love you. Excuse the word, but I'm being raw. They love you. Do you have a friend who tell you, oh, girl, what are you wearing? Take that off. That looks crazy on you. That does not look good. Or do you prefer the friend that says in her mind, that looks like crap, but I ain't saying nothing. It's none of my business.
No.
But deep down, they'll enjoy. You're out there looking crazy.
No. We definitely want honesty. You know what I'm saying? We definitely want honesty.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, even if it kind of stings.
No, it doesn't matter. Listen to what everybody has to say. I listen to everyone. If something bothers me that they said, if I know that they're coming from a genuine perspective of talking, I'm going to chill out and I'm going to think about it. If I know this person, that this person is an asshole and is calling people names and saying all this stuff, and I follow him, and I know that this person is just mean, then I'm going to give them the energy that they deserve. And that's the energy of healing when I say, hey, you're doing this and you're doing that. You can't do that on my page. Or you can't do that to my friend. Don't do that, please. Don't do that.
Yeah, right. No, I get it.
And then that starts a problem. It starts a problem, but you cannot get off that conversation and be angry and then pull it out on somebody else, because that happens very quick. When energy is when I was a kindergarten teacher, I noticed that some teachers would come to the classroom and yell at the children first off in the morning. And I'm like, the children just got here and they're being chastised before you even say good morning. That already sets up a child to be in that irate state for the rest of the day. Don't you think that happens with adults?
Well, hell yeah, that happens to adults. Absolutely.
Yeah, but if you are an adult who really wants to control and uplift and ascend your spirituality, your best friend is listening. So when you're reading online, read carefully. If you get mad, you didn't read it right. If you read it 3 times and that person is really out to say mean things to you, then now you're not reacting. If you're sitting there calculating how you're going to respond. And that's what you should do. Because if you react to the way they're talking without analyzing it, then they got power over you to cause you to react. And that's the play of the narcissist. The play of the narcissist is to be, or the manipulator, or the passive aggressive. That's the same person. And that person is not an evil person, a mean person. That person is operating from their pain. So when they come to me that way, I lower my energy. Remember, I lower my energy to peace so that nothing they say will make me lash out.
That's, again,
but
that is the
opposite. You ever heard me lash out? That is
again,
the opposite of what
yep,
they're teaching out
the
there.
opposite of what they're teaching out there. I mean, that's a mind blowing theory, a mind blowing thing. But like I said, I had to take it back and just like listen to what you said, because again, what the New Age community speaking, what the spiritualistic community speaking is complete opposite of what you are teaching.
Isn't it the same as the doctors that are telling you to take the shot, take this, do that, and in the back of your mind you're like, that doesn't make sense. It's not adding up to the other things that are happening. It's the same. These people have trained in every single profession to dismantle our sovereignty. I'm going to say that again. These people, for 400 years, have plotted together to break down our sovereignty. To be sovereign person, you need to be authentic. You need to know your mind. You need to know your likes and dislikes, and you need to know how to listen.
Right, knowing thyself.
Everybody.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Know thyself. That is the premise to every religion. You want to know God? Know yourself. You want to be kind? Know yourself. You say you're loved, then love your neighbor. But we don't watch those commandments because we really have an allergy towards religion. And I want to say, people, all of the religions on this planet were not human except for paganism. Because if there was a Neanderthal out there that thought the water was wonderful, he worshipped the water. Every time he went in it, he was in the light of the water, then the water became like God. If he stood in the wind and the wind made it feel like something fantastic, then he just felt God. If he made love to his woman and he felt every inch of their love as they embrace, they just met God. And that's what the religions teach. When they say, if you love yourself, you love your neighbor. You don't have any hate or any secretive agendas against people.
No, but I got a secret agenda to my next door neighbor's dog. I love my next door neighbor, but I'm gonna tell you what. Raffy. I love my neighbor, but I'm gonna tell you right now. The next time my neighbor's dog comes across the yard, takes a big dump in my yard, I'm gonna what? Pick up his poop and like wing it in the yard and say, "I love you, Jeff." What am I supposed to do? I love my neighbor, but I can't stand it when the dog comes across the next yard and takes a big dump in my yard. So sorry, but I'm telling you right now, that's a trigger for me because I keep my damn dog in my own yard. I pick up his duty. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, these are just things that we are human beings that we do get triggered from sometimes some of the stupidest shit. You know what I mean? I'm being realistic, Rafi. We can talk love all night long, but there's just some things that trigger people to the point where yeah.
These are the kind of conversations that I love because they are real. Have you had a conversation with the dog?
No.
Is the dog friendly to you?
Yes.
Is the dog the type of dog?
No, it's friendly. He's a friendly little feller. But I swear, I swear to God, it's like it holds its stuff all day long. But it comes 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning when I'm not. It comes over. It's held its stuff all day. It's to the next morning. Okay. It's burnt a hole in my yard. It's shit in the same spot every day.
But okay, Matt, I have 2 dogs, and I've had dogs and cats all my life. When the dog poops in the same spot, it is because it is telling the other dog that it's there, that That's part of the family. The alpha dog is going to poop in some place, and the other dogs might not go to that poop because that's the alpha dog. But if that neighbor's dog thinks he's the alpha dog, he's going to poop all over your yard. So that dog needs to know that you're the alpha dog in your neighborhood, in your yard. So you have to get to that dog, give it eye contact when it poops, and tell it no. And get in its face. Because a dog is going to poop in a spot to assert his dominion. And if your dogs if he's coming to poop where your dogs are pooping, then he thinks he's the alpha male. My dogs will poop where I tell them. And my dogs will not go poop in somebody's yard because they have established where they need to do it. People are the same way. Let me show you how. If a person in your office thinks that they are better paid than you or better than you, they're going to come and stand around where you sit and talk about how great they are. And you're going to feel bad because it feels like they're putting you down. That's the same thing that dog is doing when it comes to pooping in your yard.
I like Alexa's. I gave it right back to the neighbor. Heads up, Jeff. Next. Oh man. Nevertheless, I get what you're saying to me, Raph. I mean,
but
we've had a really good night, man.
If you go to the owner, you just might get. If you go to talk to the dog's owner, you guys may get into it. But
no, Jeff, I love Jeff. Jeff knows I love Jeff. Jeff knows I love Jeff. I promise you, I do. I love Jeff. He's my good. He's probably one of the only guys. Actually, I love all of my neighbors. I love Jeff, and I also love John. And these guys are the only reason why I'm still in this neighborhood. Being honest with you, this is the only reason I'm still in this bunker here. If not, I'd be gone. I mean, Melissa will tell you. I mean, I love my neighbors.
So the dog pooping in your yard, Matt, is minor because you love his owner.
It is minor.
When you see the dog pooping, you need to go to the dog and you need to yell at it and you need to establish that he's going to be in trouble if he does that again. Have you done that?
No.
Or you just shoo shit away?
No, I just shoo shit away. I just get up. I'm like, yeah. It's a Bowser. This is Bowser. I mean, stick a size 10 boot in Bowser's ass.
You know
Chicken.
what I would do? I would have a bucket of water or a squirty, something to squirt with water. If he comes to poop in my yard, I squirt him with water. If he doesn't like that, he knows he won't come poop there no more.
Ding, ding,
but
ding.
What I'm trying to tell you is
tell Bowser what he's won.
You're being triggered by something small. It's not the dog or the poop. It's got to be something else.
You're right. All right, Raffy. Look, we are at the 3-hour point, babe. 3-hour point. Poop power, says Alexa Jamison. Poop power, man. Poop power. If I can make you guys laugh at that, I mean, I'm glad that I'm glad you guys are laughing at that. I'm glad. Jeff, I love you, bro. We got to do something about that. As Socrates says, we got to do something about that fucking dog. Bowser, we got a size 10 bait stick in Bowser's ass. All right, Raffy, 3 hours. I've kept you here for 3 hours. These guys also.
Well, finish unless you want me. That's it. I think I covered everything.
We've definitely covered a lot. It's trying to stay positive minded. We did. I mean, I've learned a lot tonight, and I hope everyone else. Did it help you, Matt? Because it did. It really did. Yes. It truly did.
Keep your vibration low. The earth vibrates at 8 hertz. The God tone is 3 to 2 hertz. Your energy should be at its lowest when you're chill, when you're calm. People smoking marijuana are very chill. It lowers their vibration. When you get upset, you want to argue, you want to fight, you want to lash out, that is a very high energy. When people are hyper, you can't deal with them. They'll get on your nerves. But that's why the lingo is backwards. Don't fall for it. Practice, observe, and you'll know the truth. I love you, everybody. Thank you for having me on here. What I had to say helped. Like I said, the book that teaches all of this really clearly is Barbara Ann Brennan, and she was the teacher that helped all the astronauts before they would do any mission or make sure they didn't go crazy. And after a while, she quit NASA because she knew the deal. But she's an amazing woman, and she has several books. The books that's going to teach you how not to get triggered, how to remove the trauma from your childhood is called Light Emerging. It's a purple book. It is fantastic. I taught from that for the past 20 years, and I've seen people that have been on drugs, people that have been at their worst, become totally enlightened beings. I swear by that, and I say if somebody already has invented, there's no reason to invent the wheel, so I don't need to write a book like that or something similar because she's already given us something that is priceless. But I will talk about her work, and I will utilize her work, and I'll tell you between this woman's work and Don Miguel Ruiz, who will teach you not to assume, not to take things personal, and, the other agreements, look for it. 4 agreements, Light Emerging, Barbara Ann Brennan, and I give you all my love, and I'm glad that we had this conversation about triggers. The ego is good. Nothing about humans is bad unless you make it bad. Always think. If it's negative, why? Don't just block it. Work it out. That's true ascension. Anything hidden goes into the subconscious mind, and it just burps up in negativity for yourself in your own mind. Work from the inside out. Love and listen to everybody, because everybody has something to teach. Don't shun anybody because that hurts, and that creates more trauma in our world. Welcome everyone. Listen to everyone. Work with an open heart, and your vibration will stay low because you're not bothered by anything. You are the transmuter of bad energy because you keep yourself in a low meditative state. You keep yourself focused of mind, and you keep yourself vibrant by engaging with everyone equally. I love you all. I hope this helped. I know that it's not what is being taught, but if you put it into practice, you will know that the programming can be hacked. I love you.
Oh, thank you again, Rafi. We'll do segment 3 here. Just give me some time to get triggered, and no, we got to have you back. You are so full of knowledge, and like everybody said, they appreciate you for being here, and I too, I appreciate you for sharing your wealth of knowledge, and thank you for inviting us.
Well, I love everybody
to be part of your journey, Rafi. Thank you. Good night to you. All right, everybody.
I love you, Matt.
Love you too, Miss Raff.
Thank you for listening. God bless you.
Good night. Bye. Miss Rafaela Jorge-Smith, absolutely love being with that woman on here with you guys. She is full of love, full of knowledge, and I'm gonna tell you what, man. She when it comes to sharing and teaching, wisdom teaching, She is definitely one of my top teachers, top people to call, man. I mean, I can't thank her enough for being with me and being with you guys. I know you guys have enjoyed the night. I too have enjoyed the night. I also want to share with you guys, I've kept track. Miss Tammy Bottom, shout out to you once again. Miss Marnie Slater, Miss Michelle Nobles, Tara Bonds. Thank you guys for your generous donations to the show tonight. I definitely appreciate you guys. No one really mind. I don't really say this too often, but shout out to everybody there in Twitch that's following us on the platform. Everybody, and also that's hanging with us on the YouTube channel that's been now converted from a Black Sheep Media chat over to a Matrix Minds backup channel. Thanks YouTube for banning the main show channel. But it's all in my own perception. I've been a bad boy somehow, some way. Oh, that was it. Sharing the Janus bloodline material. Damn it. What else did I want to go over with you guys before I go with you is something you guys have seen throughout the night been flash before your face. Heads up, small businesses. I looking to team up with some small businesses here on the Matrix Minds. Let you guys know that the show, indeed, because of you, Brainiacs, reaches now literally hundreds of thousands of people per week, per month. It's in the end of the month, it is now close to well over 500,000 people. And with that being said, radio ads expensive, huh? Well, not here. Not here. If you guys are a small business owner, shoot me a email on the Matrix, matrixminds2020@gmail.com. We will have a discussion, just you and I, literally from one business owner to the next. See if I can't help you somehow get your small business broadcasted well over 500,000 people all over the world, all over the globe. Maybe you build dream catchers. Maybe you build and you are a crafter and an owner of a small business. Let me know. Shoot me an email. See what I can't work out with you guys. And see if we can't get your guys' product shipping worldwide. You guys are all crafters, all creators, just like myself. I'm a creator too. It's what this is. We create together. And with that being said, Brainiacs, Monday night, boom. Monday night gone, just like that. I'm going to say it like I always say it. You guys, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. If you've donated, like I said, these 4 people that have my generosity to you to bring you good interviews and to bring your soul tribe closer to you. And I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart, like I always do. Once again, you guys are with me throughout my journey, and I am throughout your journey with you. And thank you guys for being with me, tuning into the Matrix Minds. You guys are the reason I'm here. Once again, I appreciate you. Be safe. Be the change you want to see, because I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. Good night, lovelies. Good night, Miss Jessica McTarsney, Mr. Andy Cassie, Socrates, and all of you great family. Don't forget to question everything, my friends, even reality. Peace out. We'll catch you. That's right, Mr. Socrates. Cue that music, buddy. Ow! Ow. Miss Alexa Jamison, like always, sweetheart. Appreciate you. Miss Marnie Slater, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Miss Lisa Roxanne. Lisa, appreciate you too being up in here. Thank you guys. Please like, share, subscribe to the new channel there on YouTube. The Black Sheep Media is converted to the Matrix Minds backup channel. Jessica McTarcy, all of you guys, every single one of you guys. There's 23 of you up in here right about now, still hanging on tight. Ruby Lynn, good night to you. Good night to you guys, everybody. Appreciate you. Take care. See you on Wednesday night.